Hey guys, I just want to share with you some of the progress that I've made so far on building the frame for the partitions. Um, Not a lot of progress, but I'll share with you what I've got so far. I've been making these brackets. I've made 7 of them. Here's the prototype that I started with. I've got it painted red so I don't use it. So any changes that occur while I'm putting all this together to any of the brackets, I make it to this one first um, and keep this from being used. Anyhow, what I've got here is 2-inch flat stock. Um, this is made out of 2 pieces, a 2-inch piece here and about a 5.5-inch piece here. Um, this 2-inch piece is welded to the top 5.5-inch piece. And what I did is I noticed in the car that the T-channel on either side of the car, it's about 4 degrees from being plumb straight up and down. So the T-channel at either side of the car does not run straight up and down. It's about 4 degrees from that. Then the rooftop, it comes in at an angle of about 11 degrees. So when it's coming in in at roughly 11 degrees. And so what I had to do is create an angle here to compensate for those. So I've got about a 105-degree angle here to compensate for the 15 degrees that we've got with the rooftop and the side of the car. So these were welded, all of them. I've got the other 6 here, so they all have been welded and drilled out, and they were all made pretty much the same with that 105-degree angle. Now, when this gets attached to the car, it's actually attached at roughly this position here. And the top of the ductwork is actually going in this area here. So the ductwork exists here, and the top of the duct actually follows. When I designed it on CAD, I had it follow the rooftop. So it's actually going up at an angle. So it's not coming in flat like that, it's coming in like this. So anything that comes, so any piece that's moving left to right, if it was to come in straight across so it meets up right here at this corner, which would be where the rooftop and the T-channel meet, we'd actually have to move the ductwork down enough so that that piece could come in and meet here. So I'm trying to avoid doing that. When we move the duct down, it actually gets in the doorway and your head could actually bang into it. It's made now so there's just enough clearance to get into the car without your head hitting that. So that's why this was designed like it is. So it is situated roughly like this in the car, so that once this crawls up over the top of the duct, it then goes back horizontal again, so it's flat. Then what I'm doing is any piece that actually moves left to right in the car across the roof line, it can get welded to this flat piece here. And I'm going to be using another piece of flat stock, 2-inch flat stock, that's going to connect the left one of these with the right one of these. And I'll show you what I mean. I'll take this over to the car and I'll share that with you real quick. All right, I am here at the car, and what you're looking at is the rooftop up here, and of course the right doorway here. I've got the door opened over here, so ordinarily, of course, the door would be closed. And I've got one of the brackets mounted here. And I've got 2 of the T-channel insert nuts inside, so that's what these 2 M8 bolts are attached to. But you can see that this is how they mount. I've also got one over on the opposite side of the car. And you can see if you look closely enough, and if I can line the camera up, how it gets horizontal at its very end. You can also see, if you look closely enough, how, if I can get this just right, how this angle here is not quite plumb. This is not quite straight up and down. So it's about 4 degrees from being straight up and down. And then of course the roof is coming in at the angle here of about 11 degrees over here on this side anyway. And so there it is mounted. So the idea is that once we get these two mounted, we've got about a, I don't know, about a 1/4 of an inch above this between the top of the mount and the glass. That could easily change. It could be lowered a little bit, but you can see how this right here, which is important, how this snugs up with the glass rooftop. There's maybe an 1/8 of an inch between those two. Way over, I've got it pushed up so that it's almost making contact right here in the very corner. Right there. And the duct fits nicely. I've actually trial fitted that, so it fits in. So the idea, let me grab a piece of flat stock. So here is this is about 60, no, it's about 40 inches long, piece of flat stock. What I'm doing is I'm simply running this from this side to the left side, and then the right side. Let me get it up there. And you can see that it's actually making contact with both sides, both brackets. And what we can do is we can actually easily weld that 2-inch piece of flat stock to the bracket before we ever put it in. And then we can hook the bolts up to the T-channel with everything connected together. So we'll just simply put a weld here, right here, or up at the top, probably here on both sides. That'll connect it together. And what we've got is a good 1.5 inch space here. I haven't measured that. I'm just taking a eyeballing it. But that's why it was important. This sits so low. That's why it was important to do this angle up over the top, because had we had this piece come in straight so that it would go in, meet up with this corner, the T-channel here, it would be sitting so low. It'd be sitting another inch low, and it would be a headbanger for sure. Plus that would have pushed the ductwork down so that it would have been, you know, down here, so people's heads would be knocking into the ductwork when they crawled into the car. So anyway, this is the progress that I've made so far, and I'll report back once I've moved a little further. Thanks.